Yeah. Trema, happy man, na manoso ye start this, any state embodies the dignity, the soul, and aspirations of that country. And when trust, respect, and loyalty become undermined, because those that we have entrusted the governance of the country to play games with the lives of generations yet unborn, then we begin to reach a tipping point, the verge of a tipping point. Our country is beset by old, unresolved decadence of what I term both soft and hard issues, upon which new challenges are being foisted almost on a daily basis. Today, our security agencies tell us that they are arresting extremists in the northern part of the country. Just yesterday, 6 terrorists who had infiltrated Ghana, had infiltrated the educational system, opened shops, opened pharmacies, but were arrested. Available news we are hearing of murders. When you have a state where issues of connivance, of collusion, of corruption threatens the very institutional framework that should provide public security and public safety, then it raises fundamental questions as to what we all ought to do and what we should. 2 examples relating particularly to Galamsey and logging. We have all heard and read about Mrs. Aisha Wan. My problem is not with Aisha Wan. My problem is how, that His Excellency the President was not sure a couple of weeks ago whether she had run out of Ghana, and if she had run out of Ghana, how she left Ghana. The Attorney General was not too sure of where this woman used a boarding pass that he and his men had escorted Aisha Wan out of Ghana. The police prosecutors now, when you is one of the countries on this continent that first had a National Security Council, a national security law, and in 2020, customs, immigration, the Ghana Police, Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority have allowed Aisha Wan's cousin to export out of Ghana 540,000 tons of rosewood embedded, because whose activities are threatening all of us. And we are happy because when they get the money, they use it to incentivize other forms of corruption. What Helena Wang has done shows, according to a US report, that this is trafficking that has been enabled by high-level corruption and collusion within the forestry sector. But it is not only the forestry sector, because when the trees are cut, they have to be transported, and there are lots of barriers along the way, more than a decade ago. So how is it possible? Armed robbery, criminalities at the highest echelons of those who govern our country, and we know qualms about it. That the glue that binds our country together is no more the church than respect for God. It is our thirst and our love for money, corruption. And the question then becomes, how have we gotten here? And an even more important point, that is the focus of our conversation, is what can the church do? What ought the church to do? Do we just want people to come and do the hour of praise where we dance and sing and sit down? Or we want to satisfy that part first, and then the last 90 minutes, we want to titillate people's minds. We want to bring issues of ethics back. We want to bring issues of the true message that God wants us to give to our listeners. The church has become important and critical in preventing the slipover from the tipping point, because the church and its leaders are probably the last bastion to prevent the state from falling apart. It is not the armed forces, it is not the Ghana Police Service, it is not the customs, it is not the National Intelligence Bureau, because we need an institution that has the credibility and can speak both to our minds. Now, I am so passionate about the Ghana case because we are also located in a sub-region. Mali, 50% of Burkina Faso is now under the control of these extremist groups. La Côte d'Ivoire, northern part of La Côte d'Ivoire, is facing similar problems. The northern part of Benin, so terrible, the Beninois have now requested that the Rwandese army and intelligence Togo has its own problems. Northeastern Nigeria is moving or letting from one problem to the other. Niger is better. So Ghana's risk and threat profile, I would argue, is that our problems are so tied up and relate to other problems on the regional scene that it does not help analytically to look only at Ghana's case. We can then transpose this to say that in looking at the challenges that Ghana faces, that we need to look at it in terms of regional complexes. But what are the key challenges? Unemployment is getting worse and is becoming a problem, not because people don't want to work, but in terms of unemployment and demographics. I want to use one example that I like you use. When Ghana got self-rule in 1950,